by collaborating with the English Forum of Karnataka University. The paper which I selected for presentation is English language is for living, and I also know that it is a post-sensation. So the people who fed themselves need not be individual. English as a language is global as well as global language, facilitating communication, connection, and expression. My people argue that English is indispensable for our living, enabling global understanding, economic opportunities, and cultural exchange. With its widespread use in international communication, business, education, and media, English has become a vital tool for individuals and nations to participate in global community. Language in abstract system of global system of symbol and meanings. We all know English is nation of thought as, and again Johnson said English is dress of thought. The system includes grammar that relates meaning so that we can communicate each other. As language plays big role in the development of a personality. Not only personality, but by learning more than one language, we can develop person's cognitive skills. Learning more than one language is also important in social development of a person. Language of instruction in many universities and education institutions around the world. It also the most widely spoken second language in the world, making it a rich language that connects people from different cultures and different nations. English language cannot be overstated in today's interconnected world. Fluency in English has become a vital tool for personal and professional growth. Language is what makes us human. It is how people communicate. By learning a language, it means you have mastered a complex system of words, structure, grammar to effectively communicate with others. Language is a divine gift of the God. It is language that distinguishes man from animals. Language is man's finest asset. To the philosopher, language may be the instrument of thought. We think through language. Language is an extremely important way of interacting with the people around us. Without language, we cannot communicate with the people. It is a vital tool for communication. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Sharif. I now invite Ratna Krishna Marathe, BSc Tourism, GMC Kumta. All presenters are requested to adhere to the time limit.
Everyone, myself Krishna Marathe. I am coming from Kumta Government College. My presentation topic is English as a global medium of instruction in science education. English is the global language of the present era of nearly 200 countries of the world. More than 70% of the countries are use English either as mother language or secondary language. The rise of English as a global language in science. During the Middle Age, Arabic was the language used for science in all Islamic countries. Latin was the primary form of communication among scientists in Europe. German, French, Italian, English were all used in their respective countries. French was declined after World War I as German became more dominant. After World War II, English replaced German. As the USA became the global leader, as English remained the primary form of communication among scientists. Science is universal knowledge. Albert Einstein once said, science is a knowledge because science is a knowledge because education belongs to humanity. Science is a universal knowledge. It can flow without the hindrance of any religion, region or boundary. Its understanding is possible by universal language. Benefits of English as a medium in science education. Access to resources. English offers access to a wide range of textbooks, research papers, online courses, and scientific databases. Learning opportunities. Majority of prestigious scientific institutions and online learning platforms provide materials in English. Standardization of technology answers consistent use of scientific terms worldwide, reducing confusion. Major scientific journals such as Nature, Science, and IEEE Transcriptions published primarily in English, setting a standard for research publications. Importance of English in scientific research. Global collaboration. English enables cross-border research, partnership, and idea sharing. Publication and recognition. Publishing in English journals increases visibility, credibility, helping increases reach a wider audience. Career opportunities. Proficiency in English is option essential for roles in international research and academia. English and technology. Digital resources. Most online scientific content, databases, and academic portals are in English. Innovation sharing. English facilitates rapid sharing of new, discovered, and technological advances. Future proofing. English language skills is science. Prepare students and professionals for the global grow-up. Challenges of learning of English. Non-English speaking students and researchers may struggle to understand and express. Risk of losing local languages. Fear of losing original culture and heritage. Fear of losing identity. Conclusion. English is very essential for studying science. India can prosper globally in science and technology through foreign collaborations. English knowledge is proficiency in essential for international or global growth of our country.
Thank you, Ratna. I now invite Professor Vadirajacharya Inamdar, Assistant Professor, GMGC Hubli, for his presentation. I now call Dr. Arun Kumar Lokre, Lecturer, Sambodi Rayana First Grade Constituent College, Belgavi, for his presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. Respected chairpersons and delegates and student friends. So I am Dr. Arun Kumar Lokre from Sambodi Rayana First Grade Constituent College, Belgavi. So today I am presenting a paper on English education in Karnataka. So my entire paper is almost 10 pages of article, and I am summarizing that entire paper here in 3 minutes of time. Well, English education in Karnataka encompasses 3 key aspects. The first point is the teaching and learning of English literature. First point. Second point is English as a medium of instruction. And the third one is the teaching and learning of English as a second language. However, over time, English became a medium of instruction in many schools, particularly in urban and semi-urban areas, while English literary studies become an optional subject. Therefore, this presentation will focus on teaching and learning English as a second language and reflect on the basic issues and challenges involved. The first challenge, the challenge of teaching English as a second language in Karnataka, are rooted in the state's socio-economic, linguistic, and educational contexts. These challenges hinder effective language acquisition. So, primary challenge is to acquiring English in Karnataka is the unequal exposure and access to the language. And the second point is here, another significant barrier in the disparity in exposure to English between rural and urban areas. The third point, compounding this divide is the disparity in the quality of English instruction across schools. So here I have putting my research work, the data, which is in a survey I conducted in a few years ago at colleges under Rani Channamma University jurisdiction. I found that while students were technologically savvy, many teachers were resistant to integrating technology into their classrooms, even when such resources were provided by the government. Another significant finding from my fieldwork was that teacher training in Karnataka fails to equip ESL, that is English as a second language, teachers with modern pedagogical techniques. The final and perhaps most significant challenge in teaching and learning English in Karnataka is lack of a clear and comprehensive language policy. Clearly, many of these challenges are complex and not easily overcome. My concern in this section is focused on what we as teachers can be remedying the situation in the immediate terms. At the undergraduate level, we often forget that the students has learned this English, however inadequate it may be, for 12 long years. If the students who has learned the basics of grammar, we will be repeating what has repeatedly been taught. So, few minutes. What he really lacks is not the knowledge of rules of grammar, but practice of using these rules in his own writing. In such a situation, the teacher should withdraw as much as he can and allow students to practice language skills like speaking, reading and writing. We must remember the classroom is the only space in which students can practice these language skills. So, at the heart of this issue lies the need of the foster self-assurance in learners. So, ultimately, the task of teaching English in Karnataka is about nurturing students' belief in their ability to use English, communicate, think and grow. So, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Arun Kumar. It's now the time for Samana Ambiga, BA Gibson, SDM Degree College, Mannavar.
Good afternoon, everyone. Respected chairperson and delegates, I am Samana, studying in BA final year, standing before you. I am here to present the topic of my paper, Kannada, the language of culture, English, the language for living. One of the most important things of Kannada culture is rich literary tradition. Kannada literature has a history that spans over 1,000 years, with its earliest works dating back to the 9th century. The works of Pampa, Ranna and Ponna, who are considered as the three gems of Kannada literature. The 29th century saw a renaissance in Kannada literature, with writers like Kuvenpu, U.R. Annathmurthy and Girish Karnad, who brought international recognition to the language. Kannada culture is multi-layered with historical traditions, arts, literature and a way of life around 2 millennia ago. mastering Kannada, embrace the challenges and enjoy the rewards of connecting with a new language and culture. Yes, English is a living language and a language that is used in many international spheres. English is the most spoken language in the world and is spoken by more people than any language in the world. English is a universal language that helps people communicate with each other whether they are traveling, working, international or interacting online. English is currently the language of the internet and estimated of 565 million people use the internet every day and about 52% of the world's most visited websites are displayed in English. Therefore, learning this language gives access to over half the content of the internet which might not be available otherwise. Either it is for fun or for works. If you understand English, you will be able to exchange information with many people online and use many more materials. Learning English is not only useful but also gives a lot of satisfaction and progress which will make you feel great. Thank you.
Thank you, Sahana. I now invite Dr. Suvarna Garg, Head of the Department of Hindi, SCM College, Honavar, for our presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. My topic is the influence of English on Kannada language and literature. But sorry, I can't present my within 5 minutes my paper. So I am telling you in Hindi because of my teaching language is Hindi. ನಿನ್ನೆ ಒಂದು ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅವರ ಹುಡುಗೆ ಇವರಲ್ಲಿತ್ತು ಇವರು ಸೊಬಗನ್ನು ಅವರಲ್ಲಿತ್ತು ನಾನು ನೋಡಿದೆ. ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ಫುಲ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಈ ವಿಷಯದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷು ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ತ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿ ಇಲ್ಲದ ಒಂದು ಭಾಷೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾಷೆ. ಆ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಮಾತಾಡುವ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಗ್ರಾಮೆಟಿಕಲಿ ಶಬ್ದ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದರೆ ನಾವು ಗ್ರಾಮರನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಹಿಂದಿ ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಭಾಷೆ ಇರಲಿ, ಕನ್ನಡ, ತಮಿಳು, ತೆಲುಗು, ಮಲಯಾಳಿ, ಗ್ರಾಮರ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟುಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮುಂದುಗಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದರೆ ನಾವೇ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಕೋಚ ಭಾವನೆಯನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಆದರೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಹಂಗಲ್ಲ. ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ, ಒಂದು ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲೆಂಡ್ ಆ ದೇಶದ ಭಾಷೆ ಇಡೀ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ವ್ಯಾಪಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಅವರ ವಿಚಾರವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಭಾವನೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲೆಂಡ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಿಟಲ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ನಡ ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕಿಟಲನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದವರು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರೇಯರ್ ಕಿಟಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಇದು ಕಿಟಲ್ ಅವರು ಕಿಟಲಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀರು ನೀರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ವಾಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆ ಕನ್ನಡದ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಭಾವನೆಯನ್ನು ತಮ್ಮ ಜನರಿಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಡಿಕ್ಷನರಿಯನ್ನು ಅವರು ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಆ ರೀತಿ ಅವರ ಹುಡುಗಿಯನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿಟ್ಟು ಅವರ ಸೊಬಗನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿಟ್ಟು ನೋಡಿಕೊಂಡು ನಮ್ಮ ಹುಡುಗಿಯನ್ನು ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದರೆ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ಯಥಾರ್ಥವಾಗಿ ಅಳವಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಪೆಟ್ ಶರ್ಟ್ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ತೇವೆ, ಟೈ ಕಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತೇವೆ, ಬೂಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೇವೆ. ಆದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿಯನ್ನು ಅವರು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೀಗ 9 ಇದ್ರದ್ದು ಸೀರೆ ಉಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಈ ಸೀರೆ ಉಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ನಮಗೆ ಬೆಟರ್ ನಮಗೆ ಇದು ಚೂಡಿದಾರ್ ಅನಿಸ್ತಾರೆ, ಸಲ್ವಾರ್ ಕಮೀಸ್ ಅನಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾಷೆ ಕಠಿಣತೆಯಿಂದ ಸರಳತೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೇವೆ. ನಮ್ಮ कठिनता से सरल की ओर जाने की मानव की प्रवृत्ति जो है, और ये अंग्रेजी भाषा में ही है. वो हर एक भाषा में, जब हम कन्नड़ में कहते हैं तो कन्नड़ का तमिलिश कहते हैं. तमिलनाडु में जाते हैं तो तमिलिश हो जाएगा, वो केरला में हो जाएगा तो वो मंगलिश हो जाएगा, महाराष्ट्र में जाएगा तो वो मारवाड़ी हो जाएगा. इस प्रकार कहने का उद्देश्य है कि जब जो जिस क्षेत्र में जो इंग्लिश को गए हैं तो उन्होंने उस क्षेत्र के शब्दों को अपनाया है और पूरे के पूरे वर्ल्ड में वह
Thank you, Professor. I now invite Purnima Gaura, PA Officer, President Degree College, Mangalore, for our presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. The respected teachers for the I am Purnima Gaura, studying in BA final year. Today I am here to present my paper on the topic of English as a medium of instruction in Karnataka. English as a medium of instruction in Karnataka has become a significant topic in the educational field. The state is giving more importance on English as a language of instruction, especially as the primary language of instruction in government school in rural areas. There are the points I am going to cover in my paper. Shift towards English in education. Recently, there has been a shift towards English medium schools, especially in urban areas like Nellore, Mysore and Bangalore. English is seen as an important better career prospect, especially in IT sector and localized industries. Government policy. The Karnataka government has supported the inclusion of English in schools, especially private institutions, to ensure the students are equipped with the necessary skills of global competitiveness. Challenges and issues. Teachers training. Many teachers in government schools, particularly in rural areas, are proficient in English. This limits the effectiveness of English as a medium of instruction. Impact on Kannada. Critics on English medium education fear the growing prominence of English students undermine the importance of Kannada, which is the state's official language. Private versus government school. Private school, especially in urban areas, predominantly use English as a medium of instruction, often offering high quality education with better resources. Government schools, however, continue to teach primarily in Kannada, though there has been a growing trend of English medium government schools being established in urban areas with demand. Bilingual education. Many schools in Karnataka, both public and private, are providing bilingual education using Kannada and English as a medium of instruction. This helps students to maintain their native language and to also acquire English language skills. Higher education. In higher education institutions such as universities and technical colleges, English is the dominant medium of instruction. So by this I would like to conclude my paper by saying that English as a medium of instruction in Karnataka has transformed the educational system with global standards. While it opens door to better job opportunities and exposure to global knowledge, it also faces challenges to related language, preservation and qualities of education, especially in rural areas. Thank you.
Thank you, Purnima. I now invite Ms. Shweta Kannan, Assistant Professor, SLM College of Arts and Commerce, Kalasipada, Bengaluru. I now invite Sahana Harikan, GFGC Kupta.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Sana Vasant Harikan, BSc first semester in GFDC Kumta. I am going to present a paper on a relative focus on Kannada and English in science and research. Importance
Thank you, Jana. And now we invite Malati Naik, STM Degree College, Honnao.
Good afternoon, everyone. Respected chairperson delegates, I am Malati Naik, studying BA final year. Today I am here to present my paper on the topic of Kannadiga students and their exposure to English. We Kannadiga students are just like many other students from non-English speaking regions of India, and we face many challenges and experience while learning and interacting in English language. In my paper, I have tried to put light on some aspects in English in the first stage of our life. We Kannadiga students learn in English right from the primary school, and it is introduced as a second language. In rural areas, the quality of English education might be lower compared to urban areas. Here, the regional language and also our mother tongue, Kannada influences the pronunciation and grammar when they speak or write in English. This results in error accent and sentence structure. Classroom environment. In many schools, especially in rural or semi-urban areas, teachers use both Kannada and English in the classroom to explain concepts. While this makes learning easier, but bilingual classes again creates a harder for the students to immerse themselves in English. Challenges with language proficiency. As the Kannada is the primary language of communication in daily life, our Kannadiga students find it difficult to practice spoken English regularly. Listening to English outside of the classroom is rarely found, which again hampers their fluency in English language. English exposure outside the school. Students are exposed to English through television, movies or social media. Globalized content like English movies, online videos and English songs helps to improve listening and vocabulary. In educational support and resources, students from urban areas usually have access to better resources such as English medium schools, private tutors and extracurricular activities that promote language learning. On the other hand, students from rural areas don't have these opportunities. Success and improvement, which continuous practice and support Kannadiga students can overcome language barriers. The ability to speak and write in English improves as their speaking environment. A Kannadiga student's journey with English is formed by their regional language, education system, exposure to media and personal efforts. While the challenges they face are notable, with increased approach to resources and focus on language learning, they can develop expertise in English over time. Thank you.
Thank you, Malati. I now invite Vaishnavi Nagare, BA, 5th SEM, STM Degree College.
Good afternoon, respected chairperson, delegates, and all. I am Vaishali S. Sende, studying in BA final year. Today I am here to presenting my paper on the topic, the role of English in Kannada medium schools and journalism. In English is an international language. We learn English as a language right from the beginning of our schooling. I am from Kannada medium school. So when I joined college, I faced some problems and difficulties to talk in English because in Kannada medium, even English subject is taught in Kannada language because students face difficulties in understanding the content. Kannada medium students fear about their English learning processes. Most of the students fail in English exam because they have already set in their mind that English is tough to study, and this reason they stay away from English. Today, English is become the most important language. Numerous people about the world communicate in this medium. We should put more efforts in learning English as we are from Kannada medium. We face communication problems. In Karnataka, Kannadigas are dependent on their mother tongue Kannada. Translation methods help to understand the concept. In Kannada medium, English teachers take the help of Kannada to translate the text in English. That's good for the better understanding of the text. But I feel once the concept is clear has significant influence on journalism in many ways. English is communicated internationally and plays the important role in media and journalism. It becomes necessary for the journalists to have proficiency in English, as they have write and speak in English in many circumstances. Global in communication. English is the bridge that connects the people and media across in the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Vaishali. I now invite Kamya Mehta, BA Fifth Sem, SDM College, Varnava.
Good afternoon, everyone. Respected chairperson, delegates. I am Kamya Mehta, studying in BA final year. Today I am here to present my paper on the topic of translation practices bridging Kannada and English. The practice of translation between Kannada and English plays an important role in bridging cultural, linguistic and intellectual divides. Over the past century, translation has not only facilitated